Hi guys, Kristen here from UnCut Juels again. Thanks for joining us. We're feeling a little nostalgic today, so we're excited that you're here, and hopefully there's people here. Hopefully somebody's coming at some point. We're going to be live streaming today with some good peeps that we're excited to talk with. But first I wanted to say thank you for joining us, and thank you for checking out UnCut Juels. We're really excited to be sharing all of the content that we are building with you now in real time. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the videos and understand what this is about, but basically UnCut Juels is a platform for artists, a community that we're building, and we're trying to do unusual, little off the beaten path kind of conversations and content for ourselves. So hopefully you enjoy. And today our guests are Shelly Peiken, who wrote Bitch and Almost Doesn't Count and What a Girl Wants and all sorts of amazing songs. And we've got Hamish Anderson.
Hello.
You guys hear us?
Yep. How's it going?
Welcome. So if there's anybody there, let us know that you're there. Be little keyboard warriors so we can be like, hi, how you doing? And we know you're there, so say hi. And so thanks for joining. We're really excited. Shelly. Oh, good. There's people.
I'm glad to be here. I haven't left my yard for like 3 months.
It's a good yard to be stuck in.
I'm here. I'm always available.
I know. I'm excited. You're literally like in quarantine heaven right now. Oh, somebody's watching from Dublin, Ireland.
All right, cool. We'll take it. Hey, Ireland.
I wonder what time it is there. We know it's really early in Australia where Hamish is. Hi, Hamish.
He just woke up.
It's like 10 a.m.
I'm having my cocktail. He's having his coffee.
I know, we're on opposite hours.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, so Hamish just woke up. He's in Australia. So you want to say hi?
Hello, internet, internet world.
And Shelly's here with us in Los Angeles. She's nearby. So we're feeling a little nostalgic lately, huh? Everybody's
spongy. I could.
Please don't. I was saying we're feeling a little nostalgic, so I'm excited to be doing this since none of us have been able to be in the same room since, well, you and I since March, and Hamish and you and I since November. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's really sad. But we've been keeping the spirit alive because we've been doing a lot of really great work with Shelly, and some of it we've been able to get Hamish on too. So, we're here to talk a little bit about that. You ready to get started?
Do it.
So, Shelly, I have a question for you. How did this all happen? How did we get here? We have so much in common. We all are doing things together, and I still can't, sometimes I think about it. I'm like, it's amazing. We're all here. Right. Tell me.
Okay. So I was making some pasta sauce one night in 2018, listening to KCRW, my go-to jam, and I hear this song. And I'm like, what the is that? And I don't do that to a lot of songs. I hear pop songs, cute little jams and hooky things. This was different. The song was great, and the voice was great, and the guitar playing was great. And it was one of those songs that that makes me stop and Shazam it and go, who's this? And Hamish's name came up, and I'm like, who is this guy? And what kind of a name is Hamish? Which I came to love very much. And I go Google him. And so I find out he's in Australia, and he's playing like in 3 days at Hotel Cafe, which was crazy.
Oh, yay.
I mean, what are the chances of that?
And let's take a pause and say Hotel Cafe. We love that spot.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that spot.
Miss it.
And
can't wait.
That is the night that I went down and started stalking Hamish. And he must have thought, who the hell is this woman? But I still go out to hear live music. I know that a lot
Yeah,
of
you're great.
grown-up people don't do that anymore, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I still do that. It's a thrill for me, and I'm so glad I went.
Yeah, it was great. I remember the moment I met you. I remember seeing you.
Yes, because I came to buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, tank top. Rocked the tank top. The
Right.
sexy one.
Hello.
I know. I can't believe you don't have it on now.
No, I'm in my bathing suit. I'm like, I know I should have worn it, but I'm swimming. Anyway, I go to buy a T-shirt at the merch booth, and you go to me, oh my God, you look like that chick who's been posting about Hamish all week. I said, that would be moi. And then you took me to meet Hamish.
Right.
And Hamish, did you have any like warning that no, you couldn't have because I had just was coming from the merch booth, so you didn't know, and you were very polite.
No, yeah, I remember
But
we met very briefly, just kind of in the hotel cafe
didn't
lobby, and
oh, my things are going out. I got to do. Okay.
Oh, no.
So did you think that I was older than your average fan or anything like that?
no, I thought you were very nice. I remember I was probably just preoccupied with I was just sweaty. I was like a sweaty mess just off stage. But yeah, I remember that at Hotel Cafe, and we met very briefly in the lobby area. And I think I must have Googled you, I guess, before that because you were tweeting about me. Because I think you had
Oh,
just maybe got the Grammy before then.
Nomination.
Yeah, the
I
nomination
didn't get a
before then.
Grammy.
Yeah.
I got a Grammy
Was it during that
for my
time or it
book,
was just before?
Confessions of a Real Songwriter.
Was
Sorry.
was it like had it happened
It
yet or it was
was,
earlier?
gosh, my timeline is really bad. So I think the Grammys maybe were in February, and maybe I met you in January,
Yeah, because I
Christian.
think we spoke about that
Yeah.
kind of briefly. I
Right,
remember.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe it was a March show then.
No, I think it was earlier. I
No,
think it was
It
January.
was
So it must have been just
January.
it
before
It
that
was
was.
stuff.
January. That
Yeah,
was yeah,
yeah,
because I
It
looked
was.
the date up. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was January.
Because the three of us started hanging out, and we went to Gary Calamar's show at the Federal in
Oh, yeah,
March.
that's right. Yeah.
And it was like
Oh
the
yeah,
day before I got my vocal hemorrhage. But let's not
that's
even
right.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
we didn't talk about that.
You know, I really feel like it's important to no matter where you are in your life or your journey, if you love music and you hear something you love, you follow it. Because I'm like Hamish's biggest fan, and it's not because I know you or you were kind to me or because of Kristen. It's because I love the albums. I love that first
Yeah.
album. What was it called? Trouble
Trouble. Yeah.
was the first one.
Yeah.
And now Out of My Head is just as good. It's all like I listen to it not to support you,
Product placement.
which it happens to support you anyway, but I listen to it because I love it.
No, I appreciate it.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. And so then what
Just
happened, Chris?
So yeah, it was kind of funny actually because I remember being like, she's pretty rad, and then I think I stalked you, and then from there it was a while before I saw you again. So it must have been the Calamar thing, and then I can't remember exactly how it happened, but at some point I think you were thinking about doing some guitar work on your song "What a Girl Wants," and we were just chatting, and I was like, oh, maybe we can get Hamish on there at some point, and I think you were like, listen, can we get Hamish on there at some point? And we were like, yeah, let's try and figure something out. So we come over to Eve's studio.
Yeah.
And then
well, you and I stayed in touch. I was getting your newsletters, and I was like,
oh,
okay, so
yeah.
this chick is really cool, and she writes me back, which I know that sounds like, well, why wouldn't she write me back? But a lot of people there's a lot, it's crowded out there. A lot of people don't. And you responded every time I emailed you or texted you. And then we went to lunch in the Valley.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then,
oh yeah.
See, now your memory is better than mine, but I remember this. We went out to lunch, and I said, I'm thinking of making this album.
That's right.
I was feeling you out to see if maybe you would look
didn't know
after
that.
me the way you looked after Hamish, because I went to more of his gigs, the one downtown outside.
Yeah.
This girl is on it. She's really looking after him. And I was trying to get my guitar chops together, but basically I suck.
Yeah.
Eve would not agree, but I do
No,
suck.
it sounded
And
good.
I thought, I don't remember who put it out there, but it was a wish
Yeah.
that Hamish could come play on it, because I thought it would be cool to make What a Girl Wants a little bit more bluesy, and I didn't have any of that. And you were
Yeah.
like, let me ask him,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
doesn't have a thing going on today, and we're
Yeah.
coming to the valley.
I kind of think it was like we had come back from something. It must have been after we'd come back from the Gary Clark Jr. tour, I think. It was definitely after Beale Street, and I think we had like a moment in between the schedule, and I was like, this is perfect timing, because you guys were working on the song, and we went over and laid it down, and then you were working on Notebook, right, as well,
And I got
and you were like,
and I couldn't finger pick at all. And I said to Eve Nelson, who produced it, I'm like, he's here, and just because it's not blues doesn't mean he can't. And Eve showed him like a little piece of a finger picking style that we wanted, and Hamish just picked up the guitar and played it.
it was
And
great.
poor Hamish just like sitting there listening to us, and we're like,
Pretty sure, yeah. That was very funny. I think in the footage that it's like actually I'm talking over all of it because he was in another room.
We had a
Hamish,
really
we
nice
nice.
Spanish
Will you
nylon
just
string
sing?
guitar, didn't you? Was that your husband's?
Husband,
Whose guitar was that? That
actually,
little nylon string that was there.
then must have been
It was
Eve.
probably at Eve's place.
Yeah.
Oh, at my place.
No, at Eve's place, at the studio.
At Eve's place, I think it was her friend Ray's.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that
Okay.
was really nice. Because that was super,
Maybe.
like, as you said, unplanned. That obviously was just going to do what a girl wants. And then that was just there. And I have a song that's kind of, when you were playing it, that's kind of similar with that finger picking pattern, a song I wrote called Winter.
Really?
So it was like, as soon as I heard it, it had that type of like sound to it, I guess.
Hamish, tell me the truth, did you think, I cannot believe I'm playing on these pop records?
No, I loved it. And I thought What a Girl Wants, when you said it wasn't bluesy before, I think it was bluesy even before the guitar stuff, because like, I guess you must have sent it prior when it was just vocals and drums and bass and everything. And it still had a very bluesy, it didn't sound like pop music to me. It had a very bluesy feel to it. And I think you said that it was like Wooden Ships, was it? That was kind of the...
Well, we tried to go in that vibe. We were just that rhythm.
Yeah, and that's what it had. So I think
like,
it did. Yeah, I think it did have a blues feel to it already. That like, and then it was. I think you said you wanted the wah wah type of stuff, and so that was very like, yeah, that's in the wheelhouse of stuff I like. And
I didn't say I wanted it. You played a wah wah, and I said that.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That might have been it.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, it was all very quick. It must have. Yeah.
Oh, this was a year and a half ago? Wait, yeah.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
Like watching home movies.
Oh, look. I remember this. I'm just so glad I brought my little camera. That was
and I know
great.
what I'm saying I try to play guitar on stuff, but it always gets on the cutting room floor. Cut it out. So I'm glad somebody here who knows how to play. Hamish, you've got on your I'm playing guitar face.
Yeah, exactly. My concentrating face.
That's fun. Oh, Kelly Harriger says he's got a cocktail. Cheers to that. Come on, Shelly.
Thank you, Hamish. Thank you for doing that. And I'm so glad that, I was listening to KCRW that night and I heard you, and then you led me to Kristen, and
and here we are.
Circle moment. No, I love it. I think the songs sound great, and I'm honored to be a part of it and to play on it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
so if you guys haven't heard the singles,
and I just paid you, I think, 2 weeks ago.
It's a good time to get paid, so I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that.
She's like, I paid you already. I'm like, I never gave you the PayPal, and he doesn't have Venmo.
Sure, I paid him. I Venmo'd him. And Kristen said,
he doesn't have Venmo.
No, that wasn't the reason. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Like, I advocate for songwriters to be paid and for streaming rights. I'm like, I didn't.
That was so funny. Oh my God. So yeah, so I was gonna say, like, if you guys paying attention to all of this. If you haven't heard the songs, please take a listen to them because they're really, they're literally the perfect balance of like Shelly and then
Yeah,
like
they're
just
both very
a
different.
piece of Hamish coming in and out of things. It's really charming. So I love it. You
And
guys all
listen
know.
to his records too. They're amazing. Not just because they said it, not
Oh
just
yeah.
because we're supposed to follow and support each other. I mean that too. But you will thank me for telling you to do that. I mean, I'm on your site, Kristen. So, well, I'm on my page too.
You're on your page too, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Karen, my sister, just asked a question about what was your inspiration behind "Out of Your Head," out of my head, Hamish. Do you want to say anything about that? Since we got
Oh, out of my head. It's just like about like escapism, I guess, like being kind of bored. And now's kind of, I feel like that now,
like
just kind of,
reality.
yeah, looking out the window and watching the world go by, and just not really going anywhere. I think that was kind of the thought behind that one.
Yeah.
Looking out the window, watching the world go by, and not really going anywhere.
Not going
Watching the
anywhere.
world go by as I'm just.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. Have you? I wrote one song about the quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only a song that I would play like during the first 2 weeks because I feel like our mindsets have evolved.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's right.
And we're all like evolving together, sort of, as a society. And once this is over, I don't want to ever play it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I feel the same way. That it's like,
But
yeah,
I write about the moment and what I'm going through. And I think I actually wrote, it's a funny song. Kristen is actually in the song. And I think I just needed to humor myself and it's sort of therapy. It's like telling the story of what's going on that day in your life. This is crazy though. We're starting to loosen up. I hope I hope we don't regret
Well,
doing that.
you know, think about this. It's pretty remarkable. If for instance you had heard him on KCRW now, it would take a very long time for all of this to happen. And it did because we took our time with it. But like now we don't, like who knows, you know what I mean? Like the idea of collaboration, the idea of, this community that we're building, all of the things that even just the sense of like the inspiration and the alchemy between all of us and you two especially, I mean, like think about how much harder it is now to do these things than it was 2 years ago or even a year ago. So yeah, I'm really grateful that we had this time and that you have something to show for it,
yeah,
together.
Exactly. Now it's a good
Pretty
time
impressive.
for releasing all that stuff and just kind of switching gears.
Yeah.
I mean, Hamish, how do you feel about releasing music and promoting music in this time? Because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I look at my screen and I don't know who's there and it's not the real world, I feel like we're putting music out in this alternative universe. And Kristen knows, I mean, I go in and out of feeling like, at first I felt like, oh, this is an opportunity. We'll go online and all eyes are going to be on the screen. But then you realize, well, every musician is thinking that. So you have the same crowded world online.
Yeah.
Even more crowded than you would have had in the clubs.
Usually.
Because you're playing every night. And I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'm just going to follow the road I was on. I was about to, I had been releasing singles and that was my intention. And that's where the energy was. And I was going to keep going.
Yeah.
But man, the things that go through my head at night when I get into bed about this experience.
Yeah, I do think I do agree with all those points. And I think that that's definitely what's happening. But I also think that I think you should go ahead and still be releasing it because that's all you can do at the moment as well. Because it's like, because you can't go out and play live and you can't go out and, record to a certain degree or whatever. It's like to be releasing stuff now. I think people do want new content, like new, I hate the word content, but they want new things to listen to and feel and stuff. And I do think it's a kind of a catch-22 to both sides of it, but I do think it's important to be releasing stuff. And I think, putting off releasing something, we don't know how long any of this will go on. So it's like, you don't want to, you could put it off for however long, and then you won't feel as connected to it anymore, and it's like you're onto a new thing. So I think it's important to, as you're working on it, and when you have a plan of releasing stuff, I think you definitely should still do it. And I think that goes for everyone. I think now as well, as you were saying, you'll see a huge amount of creativity come out of this, because everyone who's creative or artistic or whatever is just sitting around writing or making music or whatever it is. That I think I think there'll be like a big, hopefully on the other side of this, one part of it will be a big boom of like creativity. And it seems, exactly. And it seems a little bit more song driven.
Something.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important to keep it going, because like ultimately we're, like even just the fact that we're building to your album, so you have a single coming out in like a month, basically, well, less than a month, like 3 weeks from now. Bitch is coming out next. But we have to keep going, it's like everything is, it's just the process and the moving forward. And, I do think it isn't the same. I feel for both of you. It's really hard to not hear the clapping, not hear, anything when you guys are performing those songs now.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, somebody's got to create a track, like an applause track that just comes up in between show things, when they can. That would be.
They've been trying that on TV, like Stand Up and Bill Maher.
Right. Yeah.
I would rather just like that have it. Just talk to whoever's listening.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but I think a lot of artists, it is very jarring to it's pretty much your worst nightmare. Like you do a show and there's no reaction.
Yeah.
But
Kristen Juel has kept the plot going. Honestly, if it weren't for you, I would have just thought like, oh, forget it.
I just think it's
inspired me.
It's probably going to get more cluttered towards the end of the year anyway. So I do think this is a really good time. And look, it takes time to build out these conversations anyway. And for what it's worth, like half of this is just supposed to be fun anyway, right? Like you guys had a good time in the studio. There's evidence of it on video. No reason to stop now. Like people need to see that, the humanity of all of this, how this works. Oh no, did we lose you
anymore?
Oh, there we go.
But I can hear you.
I got you now.
Okay,
I'm going
good.
in the house. I'm going to because I'm running out of battery. But Hamish looks like James Taylor on that Sweet Baby James album. Doesn't he?
He does. He does. I see that too. Okay, so
like
all
James
right.
Taylor.
Are we losing you? Are you going away?
No.
Or are you staying? Oh, you can't. Okay.
I'm plugging my phone in.
Okay.
I'm plugging my
Thanks
phone
for being
in.
so prepared.
It's all good. Look.
This is live footage.
There we go. Plug my phone in.
All right. Well, so basically, you guys are gonna. Hopefully, at some point, you'll get to write
that
together.
Cover. I'll have to have a look.
You haven't seen that?
No, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Hopefully, that's when he had hair.
Check it out. My hair is like a cave woman, and I don't care.
No, you shouldn't. You look amazing. Okay. So I think we've covered off everything, and I know you guys are going to do some writing at some point together. Hopefully we'll get a nice collaboration going on between you guys. That'd be a dream. Something that you can put out.
We got in the room, but I think that I pulled Hamish too into the pop world.
Well, I think also
it sounded like a Shelly Peiken song.
Like it was just before. Maybe it was just before I was releasing my album or something. I think my mindset was like so on like, you know what I mean? Those songs, and you're so like have all that whatever that I just like, I don't think I was as open as normal. So I would very much like to do it again.
Yeah, we're going to try again. You pull me into your world. You have to start. See,
yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
That would be great.
I can do, you got to pull me into your world, and I got to decorate your vibe.
Yeah, and the co-writing thing for me is very new because I've done over the past year, maybe a little bit more of it, dipping my foot in it and trying and stuff, but it's still, for the most part, I've always just, I've had no schedule to my writing or whatever. It's just, I won't write for 6 months and then I'll write a bunch or whatever. So it's all very all over the place.
It's all new.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for, I don't even want to say how long I've been doing it. This was
Well,
fun.
like I said, hopefully we get a collaboration going, and I'll be here for it at some point whenever
Me
we
too.
get there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Shelly, I know that the whole reason that we did this was because of the idea of I think your favorite book is The Alchemist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that sense of like a full circle experience where you don't quite know
Well, it's
the
about
journey you're
following
on.
something. It's about following something that gets your attention, something you believe in, whether it's a dream or a song. And when you believe very strongly in something, without any doubt, then the universe conspires. It jumps into the current and conspires with you to make it happen. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that this isn't my drink. I just can't. Now I'm like off. I'm holding the phone and I can't center it because landscape is very different than portrait.
Yes.
Yeah. So you follow what makes you happy and you follow what turns you on. And when the universe sees that you're being true to yourself, it usually helps you along. When you start doubting what you started, the universe pulls back. It's a wonderful book for any creator, for any dreamer. It's a short read, and I keep reading it over and over again. Every year, I read it again, and you sort of get in that mood and in that mindset where you remember you have to follow your bliss.
Mm. Lyle Berkowitz, Dr. Berkowitz, do you remember Lyle Hamish, the guy that's in Chicago? He gave me
Yeah.
that book a couple years ago. It's also one of his. And I think it's the sense of manifestation and your intention. And even when you don't know what how you're going to go about it, at least going forward, that idea of like constant motion and making sure that you're thoughtful and the intentions are there, that you're like, I'm not quite sure, but I know this is where I want to be going. And that idea of exploring things too, like in the Buddhist sense, they say like, that non-attachment means you can look at things from all different angles and you don't have to know the answers at the time. But I feel like that's what this was an example of, where we didn't know, we just explored.
Yeah.
And here we all are,
Yeah.
on a Sunday right before Memorial Day, hanging out. But I'm really proud of the relationship that we all have. It's a really important one for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful. And it's so easy. It's just so nice to both of you just coming together like this. So it's been great.
Thanks
Hamish,
for
what do
getting
you?
out of bed, Hamish.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for getting me out of bed. This is good.
Don't you miss us?
No, exactly. Yeah. No, I miss everyone. I hope everyone's doing okay.
Oh, well, anyway, okay, so great. Thank you guys so much for doing this. And
All right.
if you haven't heard Notebook or What a Girl Wants, please go to Spotify or Apple Music or any of the platforms, or YouTube, whatever. Yeah, there's the links right there. They're all over the pages. We'd love it if you give it a like and add it to one of your playlists if you want. And Hamish, obviously, he's just congratulations. I don't think we've talked since then, but you got Best Blues album from the Independent Music Awards. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So take a moment and listen to his album that just won Best Blues Awards as well. So, and thank you guys for joining us on UnCut Juels. We've got a couple more things
Kristen,
coming for you.
Thanks, Johannes, for putting this together.
Yeah,
thank
you guys. Thanks to the team for all of their support while we're doing this. So thank you guys. And hopefully we'll see you soon, and explore the page while you're here. And if you haven't joined, come join UnCut Juels on Facebook. It's a private group right now, but we'll be membership next year. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Bye. See you guys.
There's
Thank
my
you.
sister.
Bye.
Bye.